Alright, so let's talk about something that's been showing up everywhere in comments lately, the possible DJI ban in the United States. A lot of people are either confused, panicking, or assuming this already happened, and honestly, the way this story is being spread online makes it look way more chaotic than it actually is. So, in this video, I'm breaking it down in simple, real-world terms what's actually happening, what's not happening, and what this means for you, whether you fly a Mini, a Neo, an Avata, or even use DJI's cameras and microphones. And yeah, I've gone through a lot of official documents and reports for this, so you won't be hearing recycled panic takes here, just the real situation. Let's start with the obvious question: is DJI banned in the US right now? And the answer, as of today, is no. You can buy DJI gear, you can fly DJI drones, you can use your Osmo, your Mic 2, your RS gimbal, everything still works. Nothing has been shut down. Nothing has been deactivated. No one is grounding your drone tomorrow morning. But there is a real deadline coming, and that's where all the noise is coming from. In the National Defense Authorization Act for 2025, that's one of the biggest pieces of annual US government legislation. There is a clause that says AUS. National Security Agency must complete a formal security review of DJI by December 23, 2025. If that review does not happen, an automatic ban gets triggered, not because DJI failed something, but because no audit was done at all. It's literally the default outcome if nothing happens. And as of right now, no agency has started that review. That's why people are saying a ban is likely, not because DJI is proven dangerous, but because the clock is moving and the review isn't. Now, why does this review even exist in the first place? The accusation is pretty classic at this point. Some US lawmakers say DJI products could be used for spying or could send data to China. Notice the keyword here, could. There has never been public, concrete evidence showing DJI drones secretly contacting foreign servers or leaking data. In fact, the only real deep inspection we know about a leaked Pentagon report from 2021 actually cleared 2 DJI government edition drones, finding no malicious code. DJI has also rolled out multiple privacy protections over the years. Local data mode so the drone stays offline entirely, AES 256 encrypted links, optional manual log syncing, and enterprise options to keep all data on private servers. They even stopped automatic log syncing for US users in 2024 to avoid misunderstandings about data going anywhere unwanted. And they publicly said they welcome a transparent audit. So, the core issue isn't DJI got caught doing something. It's a political and national security debate about risk and supply chain trust, not about proven wrongdoing. Now, here's where things get serious. What happens if DJI gets added to the FCC covered list? This is the part that affects practically everyone. If December 2025 arrives with no audit completed, the FCC would be forced to add DJI to that list. Once that happens, importing or selling any new DJI product in the US becomes illegal. That includes drones, of course, but also handheld cameras, gimbals, microphones, pretty much anything with Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. And we've already seen a preview of how that looks. The Mavic 4 Pro launched globally in 2025, but not in the US. The Mini 5 Pro did the same, available everywhere except the United States. That's the future you should picture if the ban triggers. DJI launches new products worldwide, but the US simply doesn't get them. Now here's the big question. What about gear you already own? Good news, your drone will not be deactivated. The FCC isn't going to shut down your Mini or your Neo or tell you to ground your Avata. Legally purchased DJI products remain legal to fly. You still follow FAA rules. Nothing suddenly becomes criminal. However, there's a long-term problem. Firmware updates could stop, app updates could disappear from US app stores, spare parts could become harder to get. If DJI can't legally operate in the US market, they won't be pushing new features or new safety updates there, so over time your drone becomes more outdated. And here's the sneaky issue. FAA rules sometimes change and require firmware updates to stay compliant. If DJI can't push updates, some drones could eventually fall out of compliance for commercial use. Not instantly, but eventually. Now let's talk about something people don't usually think about: emergency services. Around 90% of US police, fire, and search and rescue departments rely on DJI drones. They use them for wildfire mapping, flood rescues, missing person searches, accident reconstruction, all of it. And the alternatives? They're 3 to 5 times more expensive and often perform worse. If DJI gets banned from new sales, replacing or expanding these fleets becomes extremely difficult and extremely expensive. Smaller departments may have to shut their drone programs entirely. That's why a lot of public safety groups have actually pushed back against the ban. The economic ripple effect is also big. Agriculture uses DJI for crop spraying and mapping. Construction uses DJI for site surveys. Energy companies use DJI for power line inspections. Small creators use DJI cameras and microphones. A full ban doesn't just hit drone hobbyists, it hits dozens of industries. Now, if you're a regular hobby flyer, what should you do right now? Honestly, nothing drastic. Keep flying your drone, keep it updated, keep the apps installed, maybe download the offline APK if you're on Android, just in case. If you're on iPhone, make sure you have the DJI apps installed, because if they're removed from the App Store later, you won't be able to re-download them. And if your drone is your main tool for commercial work, maybe keep an eye on the market and stay open to alternatives just as a backup plan. And here's my honest take. I don't think this mess is about drones. It's about geopolitics. It's about the US trying to reduce dependence on Chinese tech. It's about Congress wanting to show it's being tough on security. And DJI just happens to be the biggest, most visible company in that space. Is DJI perfect? No company is. But are they the villain some people make them out to be? Looking at the actual evidence, or the lack of it, the answer is far from clear. So here's what I want to know from you. Do you think the US should go ahead with the ban? Do you think the lack of an audit is unfair? And if the ban triggers next year, will you keep flying DJI or switch brands? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm honestly curious how people feel about this once they understand the details instead of the headlines. Stay safe, stay smart, and keep flying responsibly. Case closed for now.